Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today's video, we're going to take a quick first look at a new game coming out called Crimson Echo. Now this game is by Tempest Wargaming, good friends of ours, and they've reached out and given us a look at the PDF copy for the launch of their brand new game, which should be happening very soon. Now, Crimson Echo Core is a miniatures agnostic game set in an alternate universe around the time of 2006. There's some cool lore, and we'll go through that in just a sec. We'll take a look at a few of the other things, but a few sort of key things is this is an activation and reactor based system, meaning, you know, there is a lot of interplay between the two players across either side of the table. You've got, you know, high-end sort of actions and reactions and all that sort of, you know, interactivity that makes some games really great. It is small scale, so you'll roughly have 7 minis at a larger sized game. Normally it'll be a few less than that. You've also got some cool things like destructible terrain, where the terrain can degrade around the table. Folks who have played games like Marvel Crisis Protocol, where that stuff can sort of happen, it's a really cool sort of look at that. I am a big fan of destructible terrain and terrain that takes damage over time. It's played on a 3x3 mat, so perfect, what I think, for a skirmish sized game. I play plenty of games on that size map, things like Elder Scrolls, Marvel Crisis Protocol, Moonstone, and lots of my favorite games use that particular map size. I think it's a great map size for small scale skirmish. You have aggressive NPC usage as well, another thing that is a big favorite of mine, especially playing Elder Scrolls. I think that is something really brought a lot to a game system. But yeah, and miniature agnostic for anyone who wants to find. That is, you know, a massive sort of thing about the game. Now, you've got some cool art at the start here. First of all, I really like the look. It is very anime inspired in an essence in a lot of the art. But we go through what we've sort of got in a bunch of the contents table. Now, we're not going to go through absolutely everything. I just want to go through a couple of things here and take a look. But what is Crimson Echo? So let's go have a look at some of the cool stuff we get to see in this. And so, yeah, Crimson Echo is a sci-fi cyber-magi punk manga-inspired tabletop skirmish game where 2 players battle for survival, artifacts, and high-value targets in an ultimate dimension. Each player will command a squad of miniatures in fast-paced combat on the tabletop. Each squad's members' training and equipment help them secure victory, interact with the battle zone, and indeed, obviously, stay alive. Each member of your squad can have different roles to play. And go through, you know, some basic on what you need. The rulebook here that we've got, a dozen 12-sided dice or D12s, a tape measure and a ruler with inches on it, your squad and opponent, a tabletop battle zone area 3 by 3 feet. And you can sort of see, you know, the idea of the terrain they've sort of got. But let's have a look at Welcome to 2006, because I think this is, you know, some cool, interesting narrative they've put together for the game here, where the world is in ruin. The nations that once ruled and led civilization have been destroyed, beaten into a memory by the aggressive and wrathful kingdom of Atlantis. The world is now divided into great houses, independent of each other and scrambling to protect their own people and interests. Each great house has its own agenda and scheme. One of the most vocal and assertive great houses is Quarkair. Probably butchering the name. Now this is based out of Cairo, Egypt, and they believe, you know, we're the only ones that can really beat Atlantis. So, effectively, let's take a step back first, though, because at the start of Operation Desert Storm, strange atmospheric anomalies occurred, as well as violent earthquakes across the Northern Hemisphere. From 1991 to 1996, the Earth was punished with massive natural disasters. During this time, a discovery happened in the Ural Mountains and the Amazon. A strange new ore, which flows like mercury, goes with a purple aura, as a strange, some would say, magical properties. This is Echo, energy consistent ore, and is highly valued and sought after, and Echo is highly malleable and generates incredible amounts of power. A second discovery was that Echo had supercharged the ley lines all over the planet, and those people who had any sort of magical abilities or heritage now found themselves with strange new powers. People were not the only ones affected. Creatures that were thought as myth and legend started appearing again. Elementals freely roamed the globe. Demigods took back their ancient lands, and other strange beasts have been discovered. Echo has also enabled the creation of new technology, Magi Tech, where magic has been used to enhance all sorts of technology. And they go through, giving us a really cool timeline and stuff like that, which is really nice. I love miniature agnostic games. For me, they need to have this narrative behind them. I said this when I was looking at, Severance package and all of that. I'm not interested in a miniatures or agnostic game that can't give me the story to tell, because why would I play that? Miniature wargaming for me is all about the story that is on the tabletop. Otherwise, I would just play chess or checkers if there was no, need for a story. And so I really appreciate putting the time and effort into a miniatures agnostic game to give it a story, give it a setting, and make me want to play it. Now, game sequence here, they go through 7 turns per player, so that'll be 14 turns in all, but, I guess you could say 7 battle rounds if you're looking for maybe a Warhammer reference. Battle zone creation is really cool, so you can sort of build your area, your operations here. We'll go through and sort of look about how you sort of deploy them, which is really cool. And then we go through the game rounds where we determine initiative, activate squad member, where each squad can activate one member at a time, alternating between each player. But every squad member in the battle zone will react to the events happening around them. When an activated squad member crosses line of sight of an enemy squad member, the enemy will react. This is pretty cool stuff, being able to react when you see your opponent, do things like shoot and all of that. This reminds me of some game mechanics I've seen in games like Drowned Earth, which is a really cool game. You should definitely check them out at the moment for Drowned Earth. They're going through a few things, so go check out Drowned Earth. But it is cool mechanics, and I really like this sort of stuff in a game where it, creates actual sense of battlefield happenings in a game. You can't just run across and not have a problem. But all in all, you've got all these different battlefield orders, and we can go back up here and take a look. You can sort of see we've got different types of characters that we can building the squad. This is, probably one of the bigger parts. A fire team will need, 1 team leader, 2 riflemen, 1 medic, a heavy weapon team, recon team, scion. And so you can sort of have the different parts to add to your team here. We've got your first sort of, generic part, and then you can add in different bits and pieces. And you can add different equipment and stuff like that, which is really cool. Generate and really make these characters your own. All in all, I'm quite excited to check this out more. I want to go get some miniatures for the game. I love anime-inspired games. There are not enough of them on the market, and I've definitely been seeing, an uptick in miniatures agnostic games. So I hope, maybe with 3D printing and all of that sort of stuff, we start to see more of these sorts of games become viable and to actually play with the aesthetic that is in mind on the tabletop. But there will be more stuff to come from this as we start looking at it a little bit more. I'd love to check out this game more, get some battle reports on, we'll get some minis happening. But this is just a first little brief look at Crimson Echo. I want to bring it to everyone's attention because Tempest Wargaming were nice enough to send me out a copy. So with that said, let us know what you think at the moment. What do you think of the story that they're trying to tell? And we'll go into greater detail throughout the coming week or weeks, looking at different parts of the game as well. But let us know what you think of the story and what you think of the idea of this game and some of the things we've talked about briefly in this. And so that is the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to come chat more with me, we have a Discord server for the channel, and that is linked down in the video's description. Also linked down in the video's description are the best ways to help support the channel. This is either via Patreon or YouTube members using one of our affiliate links and codes down there like Baron of Dice, Gap Games or Mithras Games, or by supporting us directly on Patreon or YouTube members. If you'd like to do any of those, we have links for that all in the description. And as a special thank you to our Patrons and YouTube members, we'd like to give them all a shout out. So thank you to our Patreons, Soren, Kenny Lowell, Outer and Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Q Dynamic, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Benjamin Swallows, Red Martin, Iron Grinch, Colorblind Magic, Grimscold and Andy C. And our YouTube members, Greenridge Gaming, Ronya, Lock Loric, The Johnny84, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revenar, Pink Nico Fire, Robin Mankiller, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, James Tillman, Disco, and John Castle. Lastly, a special thanks to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork you see on the channel. Once again, everyone, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment down below. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Ciao for now.